My perspective on where things are musically with the access, basically all the internet access and that everyone has with their records is I feel like there's pros and cons to it. I think that the pros part of it is the fact that now labels are pretty much have gotten almost obsolete to where you don't really need a label and the machine to kind of get yourself out there. I mean, there was a time when you couldn't, basically you wouldn't be heard if it wasn't for a major label. And I think early on when we were down with the net, like in the beginning, we were one of the first hip hop groups to have a website. That was the first kind of taste of being able to circumvent the labels and be able to hit your fan base directly. And thankfully for us, a lot of our fan base was college kind of kids that were a little bit more savvy than maybe like somebody who was on the mainstream radio. And so our fan base, was tapped into us early, which allowed us to transition from being on a label and getting dropped into our independent thing and be able to bring all those fans with us. This is how we were, because didn't have the resources to kind of place an ad here and do a video and do a press release and get a publicist at that time. And so the internet allowed us to kind of forge that, kind of fill that gap, And so I think that was the beginning of it. But I think it's gotten to the point now that now it's almost the extreme cases, it's oversaturated. It's what everybody's doing. I almost feel like it's made music kind of disposable. The fact that somebody can release something in one day, people buy it and then pretty much, and we're talking about even big artists, not just some underground, but even like artists like Dre or people that put stuff on, that records that buzz up really big, and then 2 weeks later, nobody's talking about them anymore. And they may be, and I just think that that's kind of the internet way, the online social media way, that it's like Twitter world, Instagram world, that it's like, if you too far down the timeline, nobody gives a shit anymore. It kind of has made things, it's like music, fast food music kind of in a way, that it's not really as much about quality and it's really just about keep putting stuff out, keep people's interest, because people aren't gonna sit with your album for 6 months waiting on your next one anymore. You know what I mean? That's just not how, because they're like, okay, now send me some more. Ultimately, I think that's advantageous in the fact that you don't need other people to be able to get your music out there, but now you have to keep hitting them. And I think that breeds not being able to spend the quality time into making the product like people used to. Doing a demo of something and listening to it and improving on it and listening to it for a while. Now everyone is like, okay, I did this, is out. It's unmixed, it's not mastered. And because of the MP3 thing, people are used to that quality as it is. And I think ultimately that all that is participated in why people don't find value in music anymore. And it's why people I'm gonna get it for free, because so many people are giving it for free anyway. It's not being presented in a way that makes people feel like they need to buy it, for the most part. Where I think music is going, I think there's gonna be a lot of the same kind of, do-it-yourself model. I don't think it's gonna ever leave that. I think there's gonna be more direct to people's social media platforms in the future. I don't think that's going to change. I think what's going to happen probably is going to be like how vinyl came back. No one would have foreseen that, right? But I think that there's always going to be a niche audience that's going to produce higher quality, something that's a little bit nurtured, that's not just some thing you download and you don't know the song titles anymore. I think that packaging and things of that nature, maybe not the normal kind of paper packaging, but I think there's going to be, I think where it's headed is kind of incorporating different things that are more than just the music, different things that allow you to kind of touch the artist more than just listening to the music. That's the thing about the live show, and that's why that never dies. As music gets less and less personal, I guess to some degree, people still want to touch and feel and see something. I think it's really about finding ways and means to give people that kind of ability through something that they're going to buy that's connected to the music. And so that could be whatever. That could be, ability to kind of have a personal chat with Dell or have some type of say in something that they do on a record, I think that the fan-funded model, I think, is going to continue to expand because of the fact that You allow people to feel like they're a part of something, and depending on what they decide that they want to participate in financially, they can get moments that you would never even dream of having, you know? Pick a song title, or, you know, hang out in the studio with Dell, or, you know, all those things are happening already, but I think that's just more of the model that it's going to continue, giving people more than just the music that they're buying.
Because of a lack of history, understanding of history, they find themselves repeating steps that have already been taken when all they have to do was pivot from what Dr. King already did.
Any obstacle or any form of adversity is gonna make you a better person when you come out of it on the other side. You're not gonna wanna hear that at the front of it.
Everybody should always aspire to be the person that they're not, and do what it takes to become that person.
I had a bow on the bus, basically, like a long stick, basically a bow. So I just grabbed it and just started blah, blah, blah at the little, you know, the controller for the air conditioning. And the only thing that made me stop was the bus driver was like in shock. He was like, no, what are you doing? Stop.